Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show a problem that came across, how to position a torus so it's always flat. So the problem here is that if you start playing with these segments, especially in this direction, the tubular segments, you come to a point, let's say for example if I make this 8, where the segments that meets over here is that touches the surface, the plane from the floor, wherever you position which plane, in this case, it touches only the edge, touches the floor. So what if you want to rotate the segment so you want a face basically to touch the surface? Um, the quick answer is that the torus generator does not do it, but you can do it in two different ways. You can either modify this shape using, for example, flatten. So we can basically flatten this shape, which is probably not what you want. First of all, this flatten can also go, all the way until you flatten it, but I want to show you actually how you can flatten only the pieces that you need is basically by loop selecting the things that you want to flatten. Or so let's say if I loop select these faces and these faces, so now if I flatten it, the max would be until they become completely flat. So because now this is already a zero position, they are completely flat now. But this is probably not what you want, because now this is no longer completely circular, you're kind of distorting your shape. So the idea is, how can I keep the exact shape and still just rotate them so they should be as expected? And for that, the idea is that you have to use for now, the only way you could do it is using the Revolve tool, or at least the easiest way to do it. Um, you can draw a profile, a circle, but I'm just going to copy this one using loop select to select the circle. I'm copying the circle and I'm isolating it so you can see only this. And now you can actually better see even the problem. The problem here is that you see the vertices over here is touching, a vertex over here is touching the floor instead of an edge. And the idea is you just need to rotate that. So first I'm going to show you how you can basically simply rotate this. You try to rotate this. You may have a problem depending on the setting over here, step size. So the default step size will be 5. You can reduce it by as low as 0.01, I think. Yeah, 0.1. That's the minimum you can do it. So you can try to kind of rotate it and try to get it straight. But again, this may be difficult to get 100% straight. So I'm first going to show how you actually use this Revolve tool to make this. Then I'm going to come back to the idea how you can actually position things correctly and making it perfectly rotated. So first let's go to the Revolve tool. And the Revolve tool has two ways of using it. You can use it kind of without anything, just with these gizmos, and you can simply eyeball it and position it and even move, either center gizmo or one direction and kind of start playing with them and adjusting them. There's a lot of things you can do, and you can play with the keep it open parts and then these type of settings, or completely close it. And you see now it's rotated already, it looks ugly, but that's the idea here. And the amount of segments, how smooth you want it to be, and so on. The other way is that you use to revolve around an edge. So you could choose a way it revolves around the edge. So if I take this would be completely closed because it revolves around this edge over here, which basically closes the shape. But you can revolve around a distant edge as well, either their own edge or something like that. So let me show you. So if I would take, for example, let's say this edge, and I'll copy this, and let's move it away. So if I do something like this, let's say, and you can measure over here, the idea here is this is exact measurements. If I know how much the hole should be, I can measure the distance between here to here. And now if I'm going to take this shape and revolve around it, I can choose around an edge and select this edge. So now this is the exact size, the hole that we wanted to get. So this is basically the idea how it is. So now if you finalize this, you can see it's the same shape, exact same shape as the torus. It just rotated that it's flat on the bottom. Okay, so now let's go back to the idea of how can I position something completely flat. So just to bring it back to make sure it's rotated at an angle. And yeah, this is not like something like similar we had before, just the vertex touching over here. It's not exactly the same, I guess, but yeah. So how do I do it? So this again, I'll use some clever idea here. I'm going to copy an edge and simply copy an edge, and I'm going to flatten this copied edge down to the floor. So I'm moving this copied edge down to the floor. Okay, so I have just an empty edge. I use it just as a guide. It's not going to be part of the object. But what this is giving me now is that I can go to the measurement tool and I can measure the angle between these and this. So now I know the angle. This is 337.73, or I can measure the other way around, and this is 22.28. So now what I can do is, if I go to rotate this, I can do rotate in this direction, 22.28, and here you go. This is flat. This is completely flat. I can then move it down, obviously, 0, and this is now flat exactly. So, and then we can do the revolve. So, okay, hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you need me to show anything else. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.